Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, the content for tonight, as you are fully aware, the AWB, the new assault weapons ban, started to get the markup in the House Judiciary Committee today, underneath Mr. High-Waisted Jerry Nadler. Now, what happened out of this is obviously this is a long-running thing. We're going to see this over the next few days, but I'm going to show you some stuff that's really crucial to see from Jim Jordan. He's a Republican on the House Judiciary Committee from Ohio. He came out swinging. He not only came out swinging with impassioned speech, he also came out with actual receipts, actual statistics, and facts, and called the Democrats exactly what they were: disingenuous and obsessed with repealing the Second Amendment. This guy held no punches, and I am here for it. Everything is going to be linked in the description box below, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think on this one. Now, we are always looking to earn that subscription because we need as many people in the fold as we can to get stuff like this out as quickly as possible. So if you think we earn that subscription, thank you so much for your consideration. Make sure that notification bell is on. And now, let's get into it because this is important. All right, so setting the stage while this whole AWB assault weapon ban thing is making its way through this and then goes to the House. Lots of things to be caught up on, but specifically, this is a clip from when they were debating the Equal Access to Justice for Victims of Gun Violence Act. Now, this is obviously one of the pet projects of Adam Schiff. It's been in the House for over a year. Interesting how all these bills that have been in there for a year all of a sudden are getting brought up, isn't it? Right before election time? Just saying. But that's what we're actually talking about. And just to give you an idea of what the objective, the stated objective is removing barriers to holding the gun industry actors accountable. The Equal Access to Justice for Victims of Gun Violence Act would repeal the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, the PLCAA, ensuring justice for victims and survivors, and removing barriers to holding irresponsible gun industry actors accountable. This is something that Biden has said he's wanted forever. House Democrats have wanted forever. They want to be able to sue the gun manufacturers out of existence. They can't do it by repealing the Second Amendment, and Jim Jordan even calls that out. It's pretty awesome. And they can't do it through any of the unconstitutional actions that they're taking. So they're going down this road. It's been a well-known tactic for years. However, that's what we're specifically talking about. And here is what there actually says in the individual bill. Specifically, the bill repeals the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, which prohibits civil actions against a firearm or ammunition manufacturer, seller, importer, dealer, or trade association for damages resulting from the criminal or unlawful misuse of a firearm by the people that buy their products or somehow had their products, not by actions of themselves. And that's an incredibly important piece to understand what they're going after here. But let's get into the Jim Jordan clips. This is gold because the first thing, he opens the gate and he doesn't hold anything back. This is what I expect a House rep to see and do. Check this out.
I think in your opening statement, you used the phrase Republicans opposed it, I think 7 times, if I counted accurately. The reason we oppose it is because all those pieces of legislation were a direct violation of the Second Amendment. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Plain and simple. It doesn't say the right to keep and bear muskets shall not be infringed. It doesn't say shall not be infringed unless Democrats say this weapon looks so scary we have to get rid of it. It doesn't say that at all. It says shall not be infringed.
Now, that's an incredibly important thing to say because he lays out a basic understanding of shall not be infringed. Then he goes down on a few of the favorite talking points from the left from a standpoint of they didn't mean for ARs, they meant muskets. All those things. This gun is scary and can do these things. It doesn't say any of that. It says shall not be infringed. It's important to get to that base level. But let's get to the next one. I've got 4 clips in total. This one is where he actually goes into something that I've said on this channel a lot. I mean, he didn't get it from me, but we have this thought and process, right? Check this out. He actually challenges the Democrats.
We said this in the last markup on legislation where the Democrats were trying to infringe on Americans, law-abiding Americans' Second Amendment liberties. We said the Democrats' beef is with the Second Amendment. If you want to change you want to get rid of the Second Amendment, go try a constitutional amendment. See how far you get with that. But instead, no, you come with these pieces of legislation. If this legislation becomes law, millions of firearms that Americans legally own today will be illegal.
And he's talking about the AWB that's also being introduced, okay? So the important thing that he hits on right there is, well, if you just don't like the Second Amendment, stop nipping around the edges and stop basically, well, I can't say that. Just stop picking at it and just try to do it because you know you can't do it. It requires way too many things. There are way too many Americans who believe in our Second Amendment rights and they have no support. 3/5 of Congress and 3/5 of states to repeal or add an amendment. Good luck. It's not going to happen, which is why you see them going after the things that they're doing here. But let's keep going. I've got two more. This next one is awesome because he brought receipts from the previous assault weapons ban in 1994, because that's where this whole thing is under.
Not only would this legislation strip Americans of their rights, but it would do nothing to make our communities safer. We know that because Democrats tried it before. They tried it with the, quote, assault weapons ban in 1994. And guess what? That ban was found to be ineffective in reducing violent crime. A congressionally mandated study concluded that the banned guns were never used in more than a modest fraction of all gun murders, before the 1994 ban, and that the law's 10-round limit on new magazines was not a factor in multiple victim or multiple wound crimes.
Wow, coming with receipts and statistics, basically calling out the AWB of 1994 as completely ineffective. Didn't do what they're advertising, and he brought the stats and the receipts. Now, the important part about this is a sitting member of Congress on the House Judiciary Committee. This is what I'm talking about. There's no reason to fight with aggression. There's no reason to fight outside the norms of moral decency. All you have to do is present the facts that exist. The people that we're fighting for our Second Amendment rights are the ones that are infringing upon the Second Amendment. It's not the other way around. And that's incredibly important to understand, because as we go through this fight and continue to go through this daily fight, we are standing on the constitutional grounds they are trying to infringe using emotion and using a assumed reason and moral superiority, which does not stand on its own. But I got one more thing for you. This is where Jim Jordan actually brings self-defense statistics. Incredibly important.
Purposes. This legislation will not make our communities safer. It will, in fact, make them more dangerous. In 2019, there were 386 self-defense killings that were determined to be, quote, justifiable homicides by investigators and prosecutors. In 2013, a study ordered by the CDC and carried out by the National Academies Institute of Medicine and National Research Council found that annual defensive uses of a firearm range numbered up to 3 million. This number has likely gone up since then, as more states have passed laws allowing law-abiding citizens to carry a concealed firearm.
3 million instances. And on top of that, he throws in a little nod to constitutional carry halfway through the states, by the way. That's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below, and I will see you tomorrow morning on the Bullet Points. I'm Braden. See you later.